And good Friday morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. We're winding down September today. Today is the 29th, and it's tomorrow will be the 30th, and we roll into October the 1st on Sunday. Beautiful weekend lined up for us. We got the details on the weather of all that is expected. Highs should be somewhere in the mid-90s, nighttime lows in the 60s, so we can't beat our nighttime lows that we've got. As a matter of fact, as you're waking up right now, 60. That's kind of like the perfect weather for a morning. It's not too cold. It's not too hot. Kind of right there in the middle. Those mountain mornings where you go rent those cabins. It's perfect out there. Today should hit somewhere right around 89 is what we're expecting. Now, we do want you to keep this in mind as you're leaving early today. There could be some areas of fog. I know when I was coming in extremely late last night that, there was some fog already developing there. Right around, what was that, 11:30 or so last night, Odie?
It was late.
He was late.
Right
For us.
Waffle House closed.
Yeah, I think we closed down Waffle House. That's bad. As we were out at West Lauderdale last night for the CTE program. We'll tell you all about that this morning as well as we get the morning show underway. There was a lot went on. We've got all of the activities and news events that happened in the last 24 hours coming your way at 7 o'clock. This is kind of special. We're going to have a special guest this morning also. Brother Ben Simpson is coming in this morning. Why? Well, this marks the one-year anniversary that we have been carrying the show with Collinsville First Baptist Church. Pretty neat deal. He's going to be here in just a moment. He's going to spend the show with us. It's always good to have a preacher man around. Keeps me and Odie straight anyway. Keeps us on the straight and narrow, and sometimes we get off, we get corrected. A great guy. Listen in this morning. It's going to be fun. As a matter of fact, let's go to Collinsville now and hear what he's got to say to mark this anniversary.
Arrogance is one of the ugliest things in the world. Do you know somebody who looks down on others and thinks that they're better than other people? It's a common thing in the world, but sadly, we can find it among church people as well. Too often, we're like that Pharisee in the parable that Jesus told who looked over at the tax collector and prayed, "Oh God, thank you. I'm not like other men, extortioners, unjust, adulterers, or even like that tax collector. I fast twice a week. I give tithes of all that I get." You see, that Pharisee had forgotten that he was a sinner too. Now, Apostle Paul addresses spiritual arrogance in Romans 11, particularly Gentile believers who are tempted to look down their noses arrogantly at Jewish non-believers. He basically says, don't be arrogant toward the Jewish non-believers. Remember that the root of your faith comes from Jewish people. Yes, some have been cut off from the promises of God because of their spiritual unbelief and their rejection of Jesus, but their heritage is your heritage in Christ. Furthermore, instead of being arrogant, he says you should fear God. If God cut them off for their unbelief, He could do the same thing to you for your unbelief. So let fear of God replace your arrogance, and let thanksgiving to God replace your arrogance as well. And that's applicable to any person you're tempted to look down on. You're not better. You're simply a person who has been saved by the grace of God. You have nothing to be arrogant about. If you want to boast, well, boast in the Lord. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. And welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Thank you so much for that. We'll have Brother Ben coming up this morning. I hope you'll join us there beginning at 7 o'clock. James Nichols joins us all the way from the big city of Scuba, Mississippi. As I saw that, it reminded me as a kid, when we lived on the other side of town, it would be somewhere, a 2.5-mile walk over to Highway 45 to Mr. Harden's grocery store. It was right there. The Cotton Gin was there, and this is where the Subway is these days. It was the only place in Scuba that you could buy the Luden's cough drops. Do y'all remember those little cherry ones?
Yeah.
I didn't have a cough. I just liked them.
Yep.
And me and Mayhat would start off on our journey at least once a week toward Highway 45. Boy, times have changed in Scuba. Oh, almost thriving town there at one time as a kid as things, Main Street just doesn't look the same anymore. It has all changed, like most small little southern towns. But boy, I tell you what, influenced my life, and I learned a lot growing up in a small town. Lived there quite a while. Appreciate you watching there. Got folks watching from all over this morning as we see McDaniel Farms joining us. How are you this morning there? Idell is on the clock with us there. Charlotte from Philadelphia. Ann Hall is up this morning. Jean, how are you? Crescent Lake jumping in there. Miss Debbie Burnett, so glad to see you there. Well, let's see here. Let's get into a few headlines that are starting to shape America as we find out what is happening across this. I haven't had a chance to watch it, but they say it was an emotional and powerful thing last night as Toby Keith was chosen as the icon of the year, the decade, I think, for the People's Choice Awards in country. And they said that he did a stellar performance. The rest of them weren't country, but Toby was. As we all know, Toby has been getting over stomach cancer. Tough one there. Toby Keith. Great guy. Met him many times. Real tough guy on top of it as well. He stands by his beliefs without a doubt.
He's as good as he once was.
Yes, he says he's as good as he once was. That's true. New York City bracing for another 4 inches of rain. Can they take all of that? There's been a lot of that coming through there. Now, this is sad. Did anybody ever watch, it had Kevin Costner, The Prince of Thieves. Do y'all remember that show in 91? Let me show you the picture of this from back then, 1991. This is the tree that was in that movie. Where did it go? That's it there, and it should come back here in just a second. There it is, that tree right there. Just where they're sitting on the wall. A 16-year-old in the last 24 hours took a chainsaw and cut the tree down. They're estimating the tree at least to be 300 years old. He has been arrested. I don't know what all charges they will put against him, but how sad that is. But if you remember back, Prince of Thieves, and I'm sure it's been in countless other movies. Here's the scene as we look at NBC News this morning as they show that in the background there. Let me go up here. Here's the tree where it's cut down off the wall there. What a shame. Why somebody could do something so mean. As bad as what they done in Oxford. Do you remember that a few years ago where they poisoned the trees? Why?
Not Oxford.
Auburn. Auburn. Yeah, it was Auburn. The Grove. No, I said it wrong. Ole Miss is Grove. You're right. I'm getting it all mixed up. But it was some big trees there at Auburn where they always rolled them. And how sad. Why would you do that? 16-year-old in jail. Of course, they haven't released the name yet. Maybe they will. I don't know what charges you get for that, but it should be strong. That's just a shame there. Let's see here. Yeah. As they show this, they've even got it to where they show how he got in there with a four-wheeler to get back in there. That was well thought out of what went on with that. I don't get it. I don't understand things like this. Let's see what else is happening this morning. Mexican authorities, this is bad, have found 6 teenagers dead. One survivor. They were kidnapped and tortured. Mexico, I don't know if y'all, what was that American family not long ago that went there and they hit the minivan and took them captive by accident. They killed all but one. If you travel to Mexico and these other countries, there's bad folks there. They don't abide by the laws to where, well, America's turning that way as well. There's bad folks out there. If you travel abroad, keep your eyes open at all times. You have to do that here too, but it's especially there. The cartel kind of runs things down there just as a FYI. Let's see here. Mary Pelota, she is a United States representative. Her husband was in rural Alaska, plane crash, killing him. We pass along condolences to her and her family as he was making a trip to go hunting. Now, this is, I don't understand this. I've seen this 3 times this week, and I skipped it the first couple of times. I didn't talk about it. And I thought surely it can't be true, but it is. Border Patrol agents, and I understand if somebody is caught in something, getting hurt, that you would cut barbed wire off of them. But when you cut the barbed wire, and you are a United States border agent to allow other people to come in illegally, I think you are breaking the law. They've got video of it being done. Now, can some probably say, oh, that was compassion? It's still breaking the law. You cannot do that. Most likely nothing's going to be done. Y'all know that as well as I do. Y'all remember the horse picture that was all a lie to the American public? The reins? No one would ever hurt anybody. They didn't do that. But the media got a hold to it and twisted it. Just thought you might want to know that. As they often have stings in America, they'll set up, so who takes the bait, so to speak, prostitution and things of that nature. Well, they offer it out there online and see who replies to it. So far, Florida, 219 arrested. A teacher fell for it, and also 3 Disney workers. Most of the time, these are charges of people that are supposed to be underage, luring people in to see if they would fall for that. The things that go on behind in people's minds. We had a conversation about that the other day, and I won't go into it as what somebody had done, and they had just gotten out of prison. It was, how could somebody even think of doing that? Never know what's walking beside you on the streets of this world. You really don't. We'll be right back. We got so much more to talk about this morning as we begin it. We've got weather ahead of you. Yeah, all that's up and coming today as we get ready for this Friday. And again, it's the last Friday of the month as we end September tomorrow. We got October rolling in. Right now, if you need glasses, we've talked about this before, drop in and see Donnie. Donnie can certainly help you out if you need these. And if you're like me, you sometimes lose one pair, have a couple of pairs made there. Bring your prescription in. They'll show you these different styles and that you can use to get the right frame for you. They've been doing it since '96. Trustworthy. If you need it in a hurry, they can do that. Most of the folks that deal with Donnie, well, they've come to know him on a first-name basis. You get those glasses in and out. If you got something, a screw as simple as that fell out, he'll fix it for you and get you back on your way. See him. Just walk around, take a look and see what he's got. Drop by, visit with him, talk with him. You'll be glad you did. You'll walk away knowing someone that takes care of you. That's what it's all about in the end. I like dealing with people that know me. Do that with Donnie. Locally owned and operated. You'll find him there on 24th Avenue, 2021. Or call him, 693-6374. You can email that prescription over and get it going. They'll take care of it for you. Drop in today. Visit with them.
Need an expert to repair a rock peck or cracked windshield? Call Advanced Auto Glass by Joey for quality workmanship and customer service. Convenient same-day service, as well as in-house calibration for vehicle safety systems. Reliable mobile service is available in Clark, Kemper, Neshoba, Lauderdale, and Newton counties for all cars, trucks, and heavy equipment. Book your appointment today for custom tinting. It can reduce temps, fading, glare, and more. Improve the safety and enhance the appearance of your vehicle today with services from Advanced Auto Glass by Joey.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Record highs, record lows, 2019. That really wasn't all. Well, wait a minute. I guess you got to really think of that. This is 23. That was 4 years ago. That shocks me. I just don't think about it. It was 96 on this date then. Back in 67, some 56 years ago, it was 34 degrees. That's a chilly morning. That happened. As we look across the state today, we're looking at 89 to 90 here in Meridian. As you go northward there, going to stay the same up to Columbus Air Force Base through Philadelphia. Only after you get into the Delta and along that Mississippi River, you're going to get that 93 down through Vicksburg and Natchez. Whew. As we go east into Bamaland, we'll see 90 as well in Tuscaloosa. A tad cooler in Birmingham at 87. Montgomery should see 89. Auburn, a little cooler there as we talked about them a minute ago. 86 is the high for today there. Now, don't forget, dense fog advisory out this morning. As is possible. Let me back up on the advisory. They didn't list an advisory, but they're suggesting that we'll have it. Now, this is through around 9 a.m. And again, the lower the land, the more likely you are to do this. If you go through watery areas on your way to work, expect to see a little bit there. The wildfire danger has increased for Lauderdale. We've got that through Newton, Neshoba, and portions of Kemper. Look at this. Y'all be careful. A level 2 for this area. Northward of Philadelphia, on up toward the Air Force Base, toward the top of the state, is a level 1. Anything south of Philadelphia and DeKalb is going to be a level 2. Don't burn. Hold off on this till they give the go-ahead. It's just not worth it getting a wildfire started right now. As we glance across this, it's a little bit better there. As we see coming out of East Texas, it's not near as hot as it has been. So maybe we'll get some mild weather as we look at our 7-day forecast that stays, 90 and below. We've got 91 today, 90, around 90. We got 91 on Saturday, and Sunday should be somewhere close to that, somewhere 90, 91 area. For the rest of the week, we go all the way through Wednesday. Really no chances of rain until Thursday, to 10% chance there. Highs will hover in between 88 to 90 all the way through that. Now, the outlook, this is where things change. as we were looking at possibly about 82. The temperature has changed again as we see starting on October the 7th. What is that? Did I see a 7 in the forecast? 79, 78, 77. Now, that will almost feel like fall weather rolling into the area. Not much chances of rain. Look at that. The biggest chance we've got is on the 9th at 16% chance. That's not much at all. This is going to be tough on deer season and people trying to get this up, get that seed all growing. Let's hope we get a little bit of a rain to help out with that. All the way through Friday the 13th, 79 is what we'll see there. Now, as we come across and look at the National Hurricane System, of what's going on, we've got two tropical storms, Philippi and Rina, I guess is how you'd say that, R-I-N-A, Rina. 46 miles an hour, 1,003 millibars. They're pretty much the same on both of these. And at this point, neither one of these are a threat to the United States as they kind of circle in this area. I've got a complete breakdown of it on Facebook. You can take a look. So we're still good as we end the near of this coming up in November. Still chances through October. We'll see what happens with this. Let's hope we have a year that is calm. We get out of this, and then we'll roll into, again, to that tornado season that starts in November. You can't see those coming, and I can't predict them. So just heads up on that. As we go to our fishing forecast, we turn to Chet. Started, major time today is high noon. If you can be there and fish till about 2 o'clock this afternoon. Your next major time is going to be at midnight. I'm not going to be up with you at that point. That's what it is. The wind's going to be light east-northeast wind, increasing 5 to 10 this morning if you're counting on fishing sometime today. Hope you enjoy yourself. It's always fun. Lisa says she enjoys this weather. It is. This is where we're getting to where it's enjoyable, to where you can wear a coat if you want. You don't have to. Depends upon how cold-natured you are. And I'm becoming a very cold-natured person. As you can see behind me, I think I do. I've got the old heater still rolling. I'll have to turn that down in a minute before Odie gets sweating up in here. We'll be back in about 12 minutes to go live to bring you the show. Big thank you to everybody that came out last night. We'll talk about the CTE program. Happened at West Lauderdale Elementary. We were there with you. Enjoyed it so much. Drive careful again. Areas of fog this morning as you wake up to a nice, cool 60. Ain't it great? We'll be right back as we'll begin your morning show.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.